Hello, I'm Andrew and welcome back to Taekwondo Step by Step. This is the place where you become an expert at Taekwondo, and the man who's going to teach it all to us is our master Lee Gyuhyun. Now yesterday we learnt the straight punch and we learnt about the back punch, but what are we going to learn today?
Yes, yesterday I taught you about a 주먹 and a 등주먹. When making 주먹, your 등주먹 should be lined up with the forearm. And the forefinger and the middle finger should be in a right angle with the back of your hand. Also, I told you that this 주먹 is only used for punching. With 얼굴 지르기, you attack your opponent's dimple in the upper lip. With 치지르기, you attack one's jaw, or with 돌려지르기, you attack the sternum just above the stomach. The 등주먹, the upper area near the bones of the forefinger and the middle finger, is used to strike forward such places as the dimple, the soft spot in the upper lip, or your opponent's temple, another vital spot of the body.
Okay, so that's the first one and the second one. Now, what's the third one? What will we learn today?
That's a good question. Today, you will learn first about 매주먹. The 매주먹 refers to the bottom part of the fist. The way to make 주먹 is the same as others, but the areas around the joints of the little finger and the wrist are 매주먹. We usually use 매주먹 to hit, although it can also be used to block. When your opponent grabs your hand or you grab your opponent's hand blocking, you can't really pull your hands away. So in this case, you hit the head area. You hit the head area of the opponent as you pull your hand away.
Okay, but what happens if he's too tall?
That's another good question. If a person is of the same height, you can attack the vital spot on his head. Even if a person is much taller, you can attack the middle of the forehead, another vital spot on your body. And also, stepping to one side, you can also hit the forearm of an opponent by hitting his forearm, and you avoid his blow, and you break his arm using 매주먹. That's the way you can use 매주먹 in striking. Now, let's see how it is done. First, if an opponent grabs you, you can pull your hand back and hit his head. Next, you can hit the joint of the forearm as an opponent attacks. With this blow, you can sprain your opponent's hand. Also, thirdly, if the opponent is much taller than yourself, you can attack the middle part of the forehead, doing 내려치기, a downward hit.
Okay, ouch, that one really looks like it could do some damage. But now I think the next one that we're going to learn is this one, isn't it?
That's right. We call a half-clenched fist a 편주먹. Different from a 주먹, it is formed by clenching the fingers only halfway, like this, but tightly from an open hand, and you fold the first joints of your fingers in an inside angle of 160 degrees. Then you push the second joint of your forefinger tightly, very tightly with your thumb. You have to clench with all of your strength after making the 주먹. Rather than punching a person with the knuckles of the four fingers, you punch a person using the joints of the forefinger and the middle finger. This 주먹 is more outwardly extended than other 주먹s, so it can be more powerful and damaging when mastered. With the knuckles that protrude, you can stab your opponent's soft spots and do major damage. Even though 편주먹 is usually used in punching, it can be used in many different ways. It can rake and scratch the target. Also, it can slash the target like a knife. Now, let's look at how 편주먹 is used.
Let's take a look.
The first demonstration is attacking the middle of the forehead using 편주먹. And secondly, let's see how one can attack the windpipe. If the windpipe gets blocked, one may suffocate and experience major damage. In extreme, one may even die.
Oh, that one really looks painful. But what's the next one you're going to show us now?
Yes, thirdly, I will show you 밤주먹. Yes, 밤주먹. For 밤주먹, you just protrude your middle fingers from a 주먹 you made. As you make the 밤주먹, your thumb has to support the middle finger. Otherwise, your middle finger will be pushed in as you attack. So you have to support it very tightly. You use the protruding part to attack rather than the 주먹. And this is one of the more powerful 주먹s since it can penetrate the targeted areas. You can penetrate those major spots, those vital spots rather, and inflict major damage. Now let's see how it's done. That is a 지르기 on the temple. The next one is called 소슴 지르기, where you use both fists to attack the windpipe. And the latter one is done on the soft spot on the side of your body, the same way.
Oh, that really looked painful, I think. Now, we've only got a little bit of time left, but can we see one more perhaps before we go?
Sure. I will explain to you about the 집게 주먹. 집게 주먹 is made by opening the thumb and the forefinger like a pincher, like this. Even though you may think that your pincher would reach the target first, it's actually the second joints of the remaining three fingers that reaches the target first. And then you have to follow through with the pincher that you made with your hand and pull at the throat of your opponent. This is especially done on the throat, and the pinchers are used to hold the throat very tightly. When an opponent is trying to block, you pull at the throat using the pinchers. So the pinchers have a double effect, you might say, of punching and tearing on the opponent. It can be really effective.
Looks like fun.
Now let's see how the 집게 주먹 is done. An attack done by 집게 주먹 on the windpipe.
Today's point. Today we learnt about different ways to make the 주먹. Try doing them now as we watch them from different angles. It's surprising how many different hand actions there are in Taekwondo. But thank you again, Master Lee, for helping us today. Well, that's all we have for today, but don't forget to watch us tomorrow here on Taekwondo Step by Step for more action.